So we are now coming towards the end of the show, and I do hope everybody has had a fantastic show and enjoyed all the humor and learned something new. Please do join us tomorrow, once again, same time, same place. But also don't go anywhere. The new show on Safari will start straight after the Live at the Waterhole afternoon ends. And then the live safari straight after that, where the naturalists will head out and hopefully find you some more interesting animals, maybe some cats. Hopefully they do find maybe a leopard or two for all of you sitting at home. But thanks very much once again for joining, and I do hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Good afternoon, welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve here in the Cyber Sands. I'm just having a little conversation with an old friend of mine here. My name's Steve, I'm joined by Pan on camera, and we are on safari. Hello everybody and good afternoon, welcome. I hope you are having the most fantastic Thursday ever. It has been really quite a warm afternoon here, but thankfully the breeze is blowing and I feel like it might be okay with the wind, so we might survive. But as you know, this is the highlight show where we highlight the last 24 hours, and we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to go and have a little clip, go and have a look at a clip of James Henry himself with a white rhino.
But it is a rhinoceros bull. And probably the same rhinoceros bull we saw mating with the rhinoceros cow we saw yesterday. And he's enjoying a very gentle time of it, grazing through the long grass here. Hello, he's been lying in the mud, you can see. Fast asleep, I think, on his side, and then he scratched himself on a nice tree, and now he's having tea. Pretty good day, I'd say, for this rhino. It's a good time to be a rhino around here, because there's lots to eat, comfortable places to scratch yourself, and not much to threaten you, and a serious amount of security to look after you.
It's wonderful to be spending time with rhinos these days here in the sands. Obviously, you noticed that the horns have been removed. Probably one of the more successful measures of rhino protection at the moment, and it is really nice to be able to see them and to see that the work that they do in the mowing of the lawn so instrumental for the facilitation for so many of our other animals. And you could just hear in James' voice how excited he is to spend time. Now, an excited fellow, Eric, was down in Amakhala. But before we go, I've just got a few questions that come through. Gina, it's lovely to see white rhino around. It most certainly is. And we are generally seeing, I think, the same sort of individuals on Djuma for quite some time now, which is quite nice. So which means, as James says in there, the security protocols are quite high, and let's hope it stays like that. Okay, so down in the Eastern Cape, Eric had some wonderful moments from a bit of an aerial view with some elephants.
My goodness, people, what is going on over here? I've waited. Well, we've waited. And our patience has finally paid off as we've watched these elephants reach the top. And I think they all kind of just stopped to have a little bit of a rest. May have been a bit of a a journey getting to the top. It appears that they've come up along two different paths. I think Candy was the name there. I didn't quite copy, but wow, yes, this is incredible. This is definitely well worth the wait. And wow, look at this. The little babies are there as well. The matriarchs are leading the charge. Wow, wow, what a special, special moment. You know, they're all tightly packed there. And I think the mothers will try their very best to put the youngest of the youngsters on their right-hand side. Oh, don't push. That little youngster wanted to push that other one there. You know, one little shove here, a misstepping, and you are over the edge, and it is the end of you. So we would appreciate it if you guys maybe didn't push each other. It would be quite nice. You don't want to have to find elephants down at the bottom in the river line. It seems that the pace has picked up a little bit. It's possible they may have smelt the water. Quite often when elephants smell water, they pick up the pace. They get excited. Because elephants with water is like a pig in the mud.
Well, thanks for that, Eric. You certainly were as excited as a pig is in mud with those elephants on the mountain. I think what happened is that they were slowed down on that little bit of elevated period, and then as it sort of flattened out again. I don't know if you've done much hiking, Panda. Have you done much hiking in the mountains? When you're walking and it's a little bit treacherous, you walk slowly and then suddenly you're on the flat, and then off you go. I actually tore ligaments years ago doing something very much like that. I was very careful on the rocks, and then I came down on the flat, and then too much speed. So elephants don't roll their ankles, but sometimes we do. But Amakhala is dramatic with regards to the scenery, dramatic towards, you heard Eric say the matriarchs. There's at least two herds there, if I'm not mistaken, but they often are found together. So when we spend time with the herds there, they often are in one group, but they do split off, and we will find them in different sort of areas as well. So Kim, you want to know if I've ever experienced elephants from that height before? I saw the Amakhala elephants from the top. There's many vantage points when they're down in the basin, but I'm not sure exactly where Eric was there. But yes, I have seen elephants from that vantage point or something similar, and it really is magical. We don't really get to see anything quite like that in Djuma. There are parts up in the northern Kruger where there are more elevated areas where you can see elephants, which is quite magical, but we are very flat over here, which doesn't lead to the dramaticness that we have. Granny Africa, family of Ellies, are so special, and yes, the Amakhala elephants, they are a very special bunch. I'm very happy to be back here in Djuma with the elephants here. We've been seeing lots of them, and I did spend a lot of time with the Amakhala Ellies.
This is OnSafari. In this particular case, it looks like he's made a coalition with his sons.
I'm sure this afternoon is going to be a fantastic drive, as always.
Now remember, this is live and interactive, so we'd love to hear from you.
many of you are still with us, and many of you might have missed a wonderful discussion about vitamins and green drinks. But it is necessary to keep one's health up. I saw James earlier. He'd just gone for a nice run. A few years ago, I introduced James to. He actually introduced me to some sprints. And then I introduced him to a specific type of sprint where you run for 40 seconds and then you jog for 20 seconds. 40-20, 40-20. It is insane. It is quite a hectic element of exercise, especially in this heat. He got out quite late. I went for a run this morning, just for a jog, and then did some mobility training and some stretches. So I'm feeling quite good, feeling quite strong. Panda, did you get your exercises in this afternoon?
Yeah, I did some push-ups.
Push-ups. Push-ups. Push-ups will do it. Push-ups will keep you nice and strong. And I'm loving your varied socks over there.
Thanks.
Lovely mixed of socks. Maybe we'll show you in the next advertisement break what Panda's socks are looking like. Well, welcome back live, everybody. Where have you been? I hope you've been enjoying yourself. We are still here in the tent. Darkmane Lover asks me if I like doing tent segments, if I prefer to be on safari. Well, Darkmane Lover, it's nice being in a tent. It does mix things up. There are wonderful techniques, or there's the microscope, and there's the computer, and there's drawing, and there's things that we can do. It definitely makes for a little bit of a different way of presenting things. But I'm not on safari right now. I'm getting ready to go on safari, but Eric is currently doing his checks down in Amakhala. Let's go check in with them.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to OnSafari here at the very windy Amakhala Private Game Reserve in the lower regions of the Eastern Cape, South Africa. I'm here ready, preparing myself, our vehicle, and Morgan. Hopefully all goes well today. I've done all my vehicle checks. We've got all the fluids and the necessary needs that we need in order to make this beautiful machine go. And we're going to try and follow up on the lions that we did not see this morning, and then hopefully those elephants. We had a very short, brief sighting of the elephants this morning, so I'm hoping that we can maybe get a little bit of a longer one where we can actually maybe see some more faces and not just their bumps. Other than that, that's it from my side. We'll try and find everything in between getting to the elephants.
Thanks, Eric. Good luck finding the lions that you didn't find this morning. It must be rather warm down in Amakhala right now. I wonder what the temperatures are currently. Is it as hot as we are? I know they had a spattering of rain, but rain is quite good for caterpillars, quite good for the breeding and life cycle of caterpillars, and that's just what James caught up with this morning. Something.
The only thing that we have found here, or the best description of what we have here, is horror show. I mean, that is really pretty frightening. And if you are not sitting where Cameron and I are, and you only have the perspective of your screen, this could be a 4-foot terrifying alien creature that has come down to fight with another terrifying alien creature. In actual fact, it's about 1.5 inches long, so about 3 centimeters or so. No, 4 centimeters, so just less than 1 inch, well, about 1.5 inches. And there's a polyrachus ant there. So it's a caterpillar, but I don't know what kind of caterpillar it is. I've seen one before on a bushwalk. And I mean, it really is a staggeringly ugly creature.
I don't know if James quite liked the look of that creature, Panda. What do you think? Seemed as if he had quite a few adjectives for what it looked like to him. Staggeringly ugly creature. It's not a pretty looking insect at all, but I think some of the sci-fi movies we have out there have definitely gone and taken creatures like that in this minuscule form, and they've boosted them up into this massive life-size monster-like-esque horror show. And you can just hear by James's laugh there that it really was quite a comical sighting between him and Cameron. So I've got a couple questions coming through. It's working much better for me on the phone than in the earpiece, so you do apologize for me looking down at my phone for that. So these do look like aliens, Calvin. They do definitely look like, there's Calvin, they look like aliens. I mean, the ant was probably this big, so probably about that big. So I'm not sure on the species, but I'm sure some of you out there might know. Be nice to check in. Maybe you can send through a comment if you know what species of caterpillar that was. Maybe James has found out since this morning. Let's go check in with him as he gets ready for the afternoon.
Hello. We're just setting up, having a small snack of apple, a bowl of oats with a banana that has been put into the oats, and some cinnamon. Cameron, did you have lunch? No lunch today. No, bad luck. Cameron does intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Good. Our plan is to head out into the wilderness and find shade. That literally is the only plan we have. We didn't find one predator around this morning, but it's possible we'll get lions on the southwestern corner as the Kulth starts to come in about 5 minutes from the end of drive. So we'll kind of aim to end up over there. Until later, goodbye.
Our march to freedom is irreversible. We raise our hands and we say, we will be free! Great mass of South Africans denied their humanity.
With the technology here, we've got the phone and this computer. Got to really wrap my head around it. Panda, come. Let's see your socks. Let's see your socks. You're going to show your socks. You're happy to be on the dash cam. Let's get Panda Let me see. Are we going to get your socks there? I'm going to go behind camera quickly. There we go. Look at those socks, everybody. Look at those socks. Yeah, they are not matching.
And they do have some pandas.
They are. He's got pandas on his socks, and he's got bamboo on the other socks. Did they come as a pair?
Yeah, they come as a
I was about to say that is a non-matching pair, but it's indeed a pair because one is pandas and the other one is bamboo. Wow. I almost insulted him by saying he didn't have matching socks when in fact the socks come like that. Very, very organized. Very, very organized. So, mouse purr definitely you've seen on the dam cam, one of those spiky caterpillars, I'm sure you have. I've seen something like that. But you don't often see it as close up as the camera's able to get it. There are these little things. Like yesterday when I took that photo of that frog, it was a little thing. I took the photo. Suddenly you're able to see so much more. Well, welcome back live, everybody. If you're just joining us, you're here on the OnSafari, where we're doing the highlights of the last 24 hours. And well, we had a nice sighting this morning, Panda, with a couple of birds at Buffelshoek watering hole. And let's have a look at that. Got a weaver just landed a little bit left. And looks like a spectacle weaver. You see how they come to the same spot. Very vigilant. They say there's now a 33.3% chance that the bird of prey will get one of them. As soon as that weaver leaves, it becomes 50% chance. So statistics. The larger the flock, the sooner a bird of prey approaching is detected. They did a study with a peregrine falcon and some doves or pigeons, and they would put one pigeon at a watering hole with some seed, and they would release the peregrine falcon, and the peregrine falcon would invariably catch the dove, and then they would increase the number of, obviously this was a scientific experiment that probably lost the lives of a lot of doves. From Pamela, do I have a favorite bird? Pamela, I most certainly do. He's about to enter stage left. Very specific distance, and they would measure the point at which the birds detected. Oh, there's a wax ball. Yeah, my favorite bird, the green-winged Pytilia. We've got to love it. It's just behind the elephant dung. Oh, the male Pytilia. I love this bird. So they would release the falcon, and they'd have a number of doves that increase the most gorgeous of gorgeous birds. Look at those colors, the barring on the chest, the red beak, the red on the tail. And I've got a photograph of one of them dancing with a guinea fowl feather out of the mouth, trying to advertise the female. What a wonderful nest builder is. Just love this bird. And we got him on camera this morning for a few minutes. It was very, very special. So we'll just finish off this highlight and then we'll discuss it a little bit further. Doves, and they realized up to a point that there was a set number that the doves would always detect the peregrine approaching, and so in very low numbers birds get hammered by birds of prey, and in larger flocks they are far less likely to be caught. Okay, so there we have it. Lovely to see birds coming down to the water and drinking. We're probably going to be seeing a lot more of that. And of course, James Richard, you believe the caterpillar there is an Acara acrea caterpillar. I have no doubt that you are probably correct. So we'll share that with James Hendry as well. I'm sure he'll be excited to hear those words. And Annalie got to see Panda's interesting socks, and she says, interesting socks, Panda. They were indeed. If you missed it, Panda's got matching, well, mismatched socks. One's a panda and the other one is bamboo. As you do. And that is a stunning bird party this morning, Riley. It was a small one, but it's nice to see a few species coming together, and we found a patch of shade as well, so we were able to enjoy that, which is really, Really nice. Okay, so next, talking about birds of prey. I mean, I spoke about not a martial eagle. I spoke about a falcon chasing small birds. Well, the biggest of the biggest, the dangerous ones. James spent some time with the martial eagle.
Possibly the most impressive raptor that we get here, depending on your perspective. And it is the magnificent martial eagle. Largest eagle we get here, weighs about 85 kilograms, wingspan of 3 kilometers. It's not quite that big. The martial eagle is really a hell of a bird, but I'm always amazed at how light they are, because obviously they have to fly, so they can't be as heavy as a jumbo jet. They don't have jets. And the mass is only, how much would you say that bird weighs, Cameron? 3.5 kilos for the male, and the female about a kilo more than that. So 3.5 kilos, if you're living in the 19th century, is about, say, 8 pounds. But it stands 81 centimeters off the ground. So, I mean, head to toe, it's almost 3 feet tall. 2.5 feet. I mean, it's amazing.
So I loved how expressive James can be, only about 4 kilometers wide or 3 kilometers wide. It's a very impressive bird, the martial eagle. When the martial eagle takes the sky, everybody panics. And Yolanda wants to know what the most common bird of prey. Well, in Africa, the most common bird of prey is probably the black-shouldered kite or the black-winged kite. We do see them around. They're not as common here, but they're across South Africa and across Africa, most common bird of prey. And then Tracy wants to know the heaviest bird of prey. In this area, we'd probably say that it's the martial eagle. Martial eagle. But let's quickly send you on to Eric one more time for just one last little look at.
Now, I pulled over for you, young lady. There's a little path that everybody was going down. I thought you would go down there. Do you want to make a drive-by past me? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you? Ooh! This one is dropping that. He's dropping balls here. Balls of poo. Oh. That one went plop. Little youngsters, how are you guys doing? Ooh, a little bit of a kick. Annoying. Is this mom? No, this is not mom. Are you annoying your cousin? Best not do that. She is bigger than you. Hello. In a very docile mood today. It's lovely.
So the elephants of Amakhala, aren't they just priceless? I mean, that little backward kick he gave there, it is really funny to see elephants do that. I've seen it a few times, and it makes me chuckle every single time. And Eric's banter with regards to the Ellies there is quite remarkable. To be able to be surrounded by elephants like that is truly, truly special, and it is life-changing. The energy is magnificent, and I highly recommend it for all of you out there if you haven't done it yet. Well, everybody, we do thank you for joining us on safari this afternoon. Panda and I are going to be jumping on the vehicle now to go see what we can find. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your questions and comments. We will see you out on safari shortly. Go and check in with James and Eric. They'll be live in a few moments, but I'll see you again shortly as well. Until then, have a wonderful afternoon.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.